Hey everyone, welcome back to the Tres Jolie channel and my channel. I am here with my third project this month using the mixed media kit. And my base is the other little acrylic gear piece that came in the kit. It was a 2-pack. I used the first one in my first project. And I'm going to use the second one right now. It's from AB Studio. And I'm just going to mix in or start dropping on the colors I want, which for this background is going to be the sunset orange and the sunshine yellow alcohol inks that came in the kit this month. So as you can see, I am just using a regular drinking straw to just sort of blow the drops around before they can dry. It's alcohol ink. It does evaporate rather quickly. And then to get them blending together, now that I kind of have them in place, but it's very splotchy, and I kind of want to blend it a little bit, I'm going to use some alcohol blending solution. And I'm going to drop it on the same kind of way, but it does come out a bit quicker than the alcohol ink droplets do. So, yeah, see, you can kind of see, it's hard, it is transparent there. So you can see how it's blended together and just kind of spread out and kind of splotchy, and that's kind of really what I'm going for to start. But I do want to add a little spritz, and this is just regular rubbing alcohol, and I do just kind of want it very, very light. It will act the same way as the alcohol blending solution. It does sort of reactivate those inks, but to me, giving it the spritz at the end there, it does kind of soften them up a little bit, I guess. So I'm just going to, alcohol ink dries quickly, but it can stay kind of sticky for a while. So I'm going to set it off to the side here. And then I'm going to explain what I was doing. I had started on these because, quite honestly, I wasn't entirely certain how it was going to work out. And I have these pieces of, now this paper is from my stash, but it's also AB Studio, and it's the Vintage Elements 3 paper. It's this on the back side, and this is the side that you see all fussy cut out over here. I have the rest of it up here. I kind of really liked just the black and white print that was going on these. And I just wanted to see, you know, how it might look. Now, alcohol ink's not made for paper, but it does work. And all of these pieces right here on the gray mat, I have a coat of ultra thick embossing powder on here. It's the ultra thick embossing powder. And that gave them shine. It strengthened the paper up. And I started with the Purple Twilight alcohol ink that came in the kit this month. And I was just really kind of seeing what I could do with those on these flowers. And I'm trying to keep them to just where the flowers are. And I think I'm gonna have to. I will be right back. I'm back. I went and just grabbed up some Q-tips from my bathroom there real quick. And I think for this one, the flowers are so much smaller. I'm going to use the Q-tips to get the color where I want it right now. It doesn't quite work the same as the felt on the blending tool, but it is working. And I'm just gonna do the same. Nope. These ones I think I'm gonna do something different too. Alright. And so I'm just gonna try to finish up my little mushrooms over here with the purple as well. And now I'm going to add in, this is the Snow Cap Mixative that also came in the kit this month. Just going to give it a shake. And just to get things going, some of my blending solution. On these here, I have a new piece of felt, and actually maybe I'll just sort of put it on here and then put some blending solution on here. Yeah, maybe that'll work for me. I don't want to cover up all of the detail, but I am kind of going for something here. Some kind of look. I'll figure it out. And I'm going to just kind of start working my way through what I'm doing. And that brings me to this one. Kind of fell apart. I'll have to fix it. There's actually another little flower someplace. I have to find that too. I'll work on it. But I'm going to spray. I'm going to spray these all with just a light spritz of rubbing alcohol. Now, well, there we go. I am going to use some super heavy gel, some gloss super heavy gel, and a stencil, which I will get in just a minute. This stencil, it is from the November of 2018 mixed media kit, and I'm going to just sort of put it out, just, well, I don't know if I'm going to say everywhere, but I'm going to try to get it in most of the places. I may not worry too much about the areas that I'm sure are going to get covered by my little cluster that I'm working on. So I'm just going to kind of work on the edges. And since this will dry transparent, it'll work well. And I think it may, this is kind of going to be a cool experiment. It may reactivate the alcohol ink. I'm actually not sure. I just, I tested, I put a little drop on, wanted to see, or I wanted to see, you know, if it would bleed into the gel, which has already started drying. And so I just kind of want to spray, just to kind of reactivate it a little bit, because this, at least this particular brand of heavy gel, does not reactivate. I was pretty sure it wouldn't, because I believe this is a water-based gel, but I thought I'd look or give it a try, see what happened. So I decided I just wanted to give it that little squirt, just to kind of get some color a little bit into the stenciling. I mean, as you can, I can come back up. As you can see, you know, these are almost dry on the edges. So it's really just going to add a little texture. You're still going to be able to have that transparency going there. I'm just going to let all this set up, and then I'll come back and work on putting my cluster together. My gel is, well, it's kind of tacky a little bit, but it's dry enough for me to just sort of move along. And these aren't attached yet. I was just sort of stacking things up and playing with them a little bit. And I have one more thing. So I was kind of looking at how I would put things together. And I'm just going to use the same gel and start just sort of making a place to plop things down. I let all of the gel I used just dry overnight. It's not completely dry. You can tell it's still wet. But it was enough that I can move it around now and things don't slip. And you can see, I see if I can put a dark mat underneath. You can see that stenciling there, giving some texture. And this is now completed. And I just wanted to mention, I thought about this. If you don't have a heavy gel, but you will need something for non-porous surfaces because of the acrylic, and possibly because of after the paper is embossed. But in between, you could build up your cluster using hot glue off to the side, not on the acrylic. This acrylic's not made for heat, and I don't know a lot about hot glues. I don't really use them. I know they work great on paper, but I've never tried it on other surfaces. I've never had much luck. So then you could just use like a regular glue, like Fabri-Tac. You could build your cluster using hot glue to build up your layers, because you can just sort of pile it up. Just be careful and don't burn yourself. It was just a thought that I had this morning when I got up. So this is done. I'm actually rather happy with how it came out. At first, when I was working on it, I wasn't, until I added the fibers. Then I realized that just that little extra bit there is what was really needed in the end. So I was sitting here talking about being done and talking about how the fibers were what was needed in the end, and I was thinking, actually, there was still something missing. So I just pulled out these texture pebbles, and there's a lot of different brands, but these are the ones I'll be using. Just some texture pebbles, and I'm just going to put a few on in some key spots. Now I'm gonna say it's done. I just put a little bit in a few spots, just for a little bit more texture on there. Thank you for joining us here at Tres Jolie. I hope this video gave you some ideas of what can be done with the items from the kit, and gave you some ideas of a couple ways that alcohol inks can be used, just directly on the acrylic, and just using a straw to sort of blow it around and adding some blending solution or alcohol. And then on embossing, on this clear embossing, you can use it to, I don't know, to me it sort of almost gave a watercolory look. Like, I even let the bleeds stay where it ran down a little bit, and I think that it just gave it it took some of the shine down, like down here, some of the shine's gone, but still kind of shiny here. So there's just a couple ways to use those alcohol inks that came in the kit. So I think this is my third one. I think this is going to be my third one up for the month. So I hope you've enjoyed the projects that have come up through the month. And I will see you again soon.